Namaste everyone. If anyone would have asked me why am I so hyped up and pumped up for the movie Kingdom, it's not because of the Vijay Devarakonda or the Vijay Devarakonda. It is not even because of the rousing BGM by Anirudh in the trailer cut. And it is not even solely because of the Jersey movie director Gautam Tinnanuri. But it is purely because of the magnetic presence of the producer Mr. Nagavamshi Garu. It is because of his passionate interviews and his aggressive way of promoting his movies is what draws me to every of his project. Then if you ask me, is Kingdom worth the hype and expectations which I had? I would say almost, but not fully satisfied. Let's deep dive into the analysis of this week's release, Kingdom. Even though the movie starts off as a war between the Britishers and the tribals in Srikakulam district on the shores of Andhra Pradesh, and they get displaced to Sri Lanka, it can be easily the main story about the war of Sri Lanka between Sinhalese and Tamilians. It goes how intelligent the writer of the movie has reimagined and hidden the facts about Sri Lankan war in a very similar story. If you know the history of the Sri Lankan Civil War, you can find easily a number of similarities. I loved the brutal massacre sequence that is showcased in the second half of the movie. It very well integrates the core emotion of the movie, and very seamlessly it takes us through the transformation of Vijay's character and his transformation as the messiah of the people in that island. Very well done. Even though Vijay Devarakonda is the main lead of the movie and the story heavily revolves around his character, I was pleasantly surprised by how good Satyadev has acted in the movie, and his character is also very well written. With slightest of the changes in his facial expressions, he brings out so many emotions, and the inner turmoil which he is going through are very well reflected on his face. Really a very good performance which I have seen in the recent past. The movie storyline is a mixed fruit juice of a lot of Telugu and Tamil movies which we have seen recently. It has stolen scenes from Mahesh Babu's Khaleja, Prabhas's Chhatrapati, and Prabhas and Prashant Neil's Salar, and even Surya's retro movie which is so recent. This Dandalaya template is beaten to death in the first half of the movie. The movie is flat and tasteless in the first half. It is like a pulihora which is cooked but does not have the pulihora masala at all. And I had completely lost hope until the second half kicked in and compensated beautifully. Why I am calling this as a negative is I did not expect this imbalanced approach to screenplay by the director and writer of Jersey. I believe it is a result of the decision to split the movie into two parts. I strongly believe that every industry is simply trying to grab cash from the spectators by splitting into two parts. It happened with Devara, it happened with Harihara Veeramallu, and even this one. They should stop doing such things. Try to bring it in one movie. Even Maestro like Rajamouli, after having two hits like Bahubali 1 and 2, he did not split RRR into two movies just because he can call it. He stuck to the core structure of the movie and did it as a one movie itself. That is what every director needs to aim for. The silliest sequence in the entire movie for me was the checkpost sequence. A Indian spy who is stuck on a bridge is able to grab hold of a military telephone, dial the number, contact Indian headquarters, and even come out of this fighting without even a single scratch. And he is, for God's sake, an undercover spy. His cover being blown, the story cannot proceed further. There is no story at all. This is totally comical in this movie. Story, I would say 0.75 out of 1. I definitely loved the blending of brotherhood emotion with a reimagined story of Sri Lankan war. That is definitely very well written. But the movie copies a lot of scenes from other hit Tamil and Telugu movies, and that puts you off. Screenplay, I would say 0.5 out of 1. As I mentioned earlier, the first half is completely bland and flat writing, but the second half has a lot of twists, has a lot of emotions, and a lot of action sequences as well. Acting, I would say 0.5 out of 1. Vijay Devarakonda is good, but he's not excellent. Especially in front of Satyadev, he struggles in the emotional sequences. Bhagyashree Borse has a role which is even more smaller than her role in Mr. Bachchan movie. Among the villains, Venkatesh VP, the Malayalam actor, is really good, and others are hardly noticeable. Other departments, I would say 0.5 out of 1. The movie is almost completely shot at real locations without any green screen or VFX shots, and some of the camera angles are also very interestingly done. The action sequences and the action choreography do not have that punch or the wow factor for a gangster drama kind of a genre. And how can I forget not praising Anirudh for his BGM? He is a talent, one of its kind, and he is like an Akshay Patra who keeps on giving without any loss in quality at all. Overall package, I would say 0.5 out of 1. The movie was heavily promoted by Nagavamshi Garu and Vijay Devarakonda, and the movie's release date was pushed multiple times to acquire a good release window. But I am disappointed about the trailer, especially after watching the movie, because it commits the cardinal sin of revealing too much in the trailer, and it actually hampered my experience of watching the movie. There could have been some aspects which could have been left for the movie experience and not revealed in the trailer. This should be a lesson learned both for Nagavamshi Garu and to the director as well. So my final rating for the movie is going to be 2.75 out of 5. Certainly, this is not Vijay Devarakonda's best acting experience. It is still Arjun Reddy. Definitely, this is not Gautam Tinnanuri's best movie. That is still Jersey Telugu. And for sure, this movie in this genre is not as good as Chhatrapati. Hopefully, Kingdom Part 2 compensates for this one and turns out to be a better movie. Thank you so much for watching the movie till the end. Namaste.